you describe the dating culture here in Barcelona?
Horrible. A very good friend of mine calls it a meat bazaar.
I've heard that it's a disaster.
Well, I would say it's also difficult to meet Catalans.
I felt compared to other places that I lived, like London and Hong Kong, it's very open here.
Dating is not very easy in Barcelona.
I don't know if it has changed from when I was younger, but I do remember getting to a point in my life, in my early 20s, where I was completely fed up dating Catalan men. I was done. There were things I wanted in life that I just wasn't getting out of Catalan men.
The reason why I say horrible is because no one wants a committed relationship. All they want is to have fun.
So there's a lot of movement in Barcelona, lots of people coming and going, lots of people also staying. But yeah, I think it's great for people to date. There is maybe quite a lot of casual encounters, if that makes sense. The city is quite easygoing, and so is a lot of the dating life. I know that some people say they found it difficult to find long-term things. On the other hand, I know so many people who then actually did end up in a long-term relationship that, even born out of Tinder. It's a fun dating market, I would say.
I think in Bogota or in Colombia, it's not as easy as here. Why? I think that for girls, there is still a stereotype that putting or being on a dating app, it can be like showing themselves like this desperate or like bitches or something like that. Also, I have to recognize that for women, the environment there, it's kind of difficult. We have heard different cases when a lady meets a boy in a bar and the other day she is dead or she has been violated or this kind of stuff.
Maybe 70% of the people I met were not Catalans. A lot of people from Latin America are here, and I would say that we are kind of similar with them, Eastern Europeans and Latin American people, and men from Latin America are a bit more similar to Ukrainian men, to Eastern European men. Like they would want to pay on a date, they would want to take care of you, they would plan a date, so they would be like gentlemen, they would open the door and all this stuff. In opposed to some Catalans and some Spanish men that I met, they would be late. They would be like seriously late. This would never happen in Eastern Europe, like 30, 40, 1 hour, even late. And they wouldn't pay, they would want to go 50-50. And, well, they wouldn't want to also plan the dates.
So I guess, yeah, one may think that Spanish straight men, are more likable to take the lead, but I don't think it's true. I don't think so.
The Spanish American people who move here, okay, they're now the loads. The rules are completely different. The man pays and the man supports. And then they got this shock with Spanish people. The Spanish people are like, no. I'm doing my stuff, you're doing your stuff. Unless a man wants to play gentle, it's going to be 50. Unless your background is old-fashioned, there's many old-fashioned Spanish people, they're going to be equal, very, very equal. Yeah, and for example, here the LGBT movement, it has a lot of power. Spain, especially Barcelona, is a very, very, very friendly LGBT community and city.
And always I compare with other places I have been. It's very easy to date in Madrid, it's very easy to date in New York, it's very easy to date in Paris, but Catalans in general are a little bit shy because sometimes I feel that they are missing a little bit of masculinity, and not in a bad way, but a little bit of this kind of like, I go for the girl. They don't do that much. They say in Spain, men are like that. They don't have that part very developed here. They say that it's because they taught them to respect the lady a lot, and that's nice, but they went a little bit too far, that they are more your friends that they want to date. Then you get confused, and a lot of people complaining about how hard is dating here and how difficult even is to have a committed relationship. A lot of people who I talk with, they came from other countries. They were saying that really was difficult, and most of them, they say that the woman was the one who kind of lead and led the kind of move and kind of like maybe like are we dating or not, asking questions and kind of like directing the film. Mostly women. I'm not saying that they are not men who are going to say anything to you, but if I have to compare, in Madrid you are going out and people, some men will ask you for your number, maybe to have a drink tomorrow or a coffee or chat. Catalans, that's going to be very, the probability is low.
I heard that people here, because it's such a transient city, I think people here are just kind of looking to hook up and, you know, wham bam, thank you ma'am, and kind of go about their business. All of the people that I've dated have not been Spanish. And so I can't really speak to what it's like to date someone who's Catalan or, or even someone who's Spanish. So everyone I've dated has pretty much been from outside of Barcelona. They've either moved here or they've come here just on vacation, then we developed a connection. I think here also, I think it's just easy to kind of like meet people for a quick hookup and then just kind of go about your business. And also because it's a big tourist city, you know, it's a big tourist destination. And so I think a lot of people feel like, well, what's the point in, excuse me, what's the point in developing a connection if I'm going to have a whole bunch of people coming in for the summer? I could just meet someone new, have a good time with them, and then move on to the next thing. You know what I mean? And so and you know, the weather's great here, and it's like I just feel that because of all those different things, people are kind of commitment averse, unfortunately.
It's so disappointing to see not only Catalan or Spanish, but to see even an African man who has lived here for more than 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, but doesn't want to commit at all. They don't want any responsibility. So they rather have it for the night, and that's it, friends with benefits, you know. But for me, it doesn't work like that.
And have you experienced dating a Spanish or Catalan? How would you
Yes.
say they are in the dating?
Oof. I've experienced dating a Catalan man. He was lovely. That one I cannot put any dirt on him or anything. But it's unfortunate that when we wanted to settle down, his mother refused because I'm a foreigner, and to be precise, from her words, I'm an African lady, and she preferred a Catalan lady to settle down with the son. So knowing that back home you cannot disrespect your parents and all that, and I didn't want to make him have enter into family arguments with his parents, we just decided to become friends. But it didn't sit well with him till to date.
So if it was up to him, you would have had a relationship together.
Yes, because even up to now he still tries. Still tries.
And it wasn't until I met my first husband that I realized I could do better. And my dating life has been better after that. Well, at first we married, divorced, and I dated a little bit in between and stuff. I think Catalan men, perhaps it's conditioned by the economy. How back in the olden days they would stay home until they were just like, I don't know, 30, 35, whatever, and then they moved out. But it was really hard to maybe experience living with someone. Not that you have to necessarily marry and live forever, but it was very difficult to find someone that was willing to take that risk and go live somewhere and experience being independent, etc. Right? I think in America maybe men are a little bit more willing to do that. The dating scene here now, fast forward 30 years, what I hear from my girlfriends, everything is done online. And I think because everything is online, it's like you're going to Amazon shopping for things, right? And so I feel like a lot of people that are looking for a long-term relationship are struggling with that. But if what you want is to just find people to have fun with, I think it's okay too.
But then if you would summarize dating Catalan men, it's about that they really like to live at their parents' place for a longer time and not that willing to commit.
That would be my generalization. I'm sure that there are a lot of them that are not like that out there. But that was my impression, and maybe a little bit of fear of commitment, I would say.
And in the past, you've also experienced dating Catalan men. How would you describe them when it comes to dating?
So I did have one Catalan boyfriend for not very long, I must admit. It was in the very early years here. It was a very nice experience in the sense of I saw the city from a different view. I was here only since a few months, so it was already, going everywhere by scooter, meeting his friends, seeing places that in barrios, in neighborhoods that you usually wouldn't see. So that was very pleasant. There was no stinginess, invited me for dinner, and vice versa, 21st century. But yeah, there were some of the stereotypes that they are true. So whilst he was in 20s and, very good at his job, and so it was not out of financial necessity, still living with his parents. And you are also expected as the +1 to join the Sunday lunches. And yes, there is bread with garlic and tomato in the morning, which some might find offensive. But yeah, overall a great experience, and maybe experience is not the right word. It was overall positive. It was not due to the fact that he was Catalan that it didn't last, and I would never have excluded the option of dating another Catalan man. But yes, some of the stereotypes are true.
It could have been a bit difficult for moving in together at some point. Or would you say that would have been a possibility if the relationship would have gone any further?
I would have hoped so, but there was this must save until I can buy my own place mentality a lot. Because so I was sharing a flat, and I did ask, why are you still living with your parents? Like, you can afford living by yourself, no? And then it was just like, no, I must save until I can buy. So that I found a bit not very maybe flexible enough. So I don't know if there would have been the option to move together. It's a good question. I never thought about it.
Now you are together with a Catalan woman, right?
Yeah. We've been together for over a year, about a year and a half now. I think that the culture here is definitely more like family oriented, which I think is really nice because, when I met her family, they totally welcomed me in. I went to a calçotada to meet her parents for the first time, or her dad, and then her brother as well. We went to a calçotada, which is like super Catalan. I feel like she's very close with her family, which is really nice. And I think it also is good because it's like they welcome me into their own family as well. So I feel like I'm part of their family already.
I feel like men expect women to do all this stuff, all this like planning, even maybe inviting, because they can text forever and never really invite you anywhere, or like it's difficult to schedule something with them because they're like, oh, what do you want to do? When do you want to go? What do you want to... It's like too many, like, I'm used to men making the decision to invite in somewhere, or at least to decide together what kind of stuff we want to do and where we want to go. And here it's a bit difficult with them.
But in general, Catalans are more into the kind of like 50-50 relationship, more into the woman is as important as I am, because they are used to independent woman and women who work, most that in other places. Then they expect to be independent and to pay as they pay. They don't have this part of men is responsible of the relationship, and they kind of like carry everything. And you can see, you can have a date with a Catalan going for a coffee, and in general, every person is going to pay their coffee. Yes, if you compare with like maybe friends, they are a little bit more, they have more gentleman things than here. They are very nice, but they don't have this kind of like friends thing. Like I was in New York, like a man opened the door for me or giving me flowers on a date. That's not a normal thing for a Catalan. Or like giving the compliments. So this kind of like gentleman, prince thing, the Catalans, they don't have it, but they can treat you well. You can do a lot of things, travel and organize it, and have a nice family with them. You can count on them. But this kind of like maybe sugary, romantic, open the door, like no.
It's very, you can meet someone, you can exchange a number, and I find it very, very easy to meet people. And then if you use sort of dating apps or sites, you can meet more international people. It depends what you're looking for. I think if you're open to just having a few dating here or there, it's perfect. If you're looking for a life partner, it could be a bit tricky because Barcelona, some people stay for a while, but some people come and go. And I guess it depends on your age. I think I have a friend in his 20s. He's having like a date every 2-3 days. So I think he's quite happy and meeting new people. So it's very open here compared to other countries that I've been to.
How it is to date a Basque Spanish woman? Did you see any differences when it comes to dating relationship?
Yes, it's the first international person I date. My partner is not a woman, is a non-binary person, so in between everything and nothing, but anyways. And yes, the difference, the cultural differences are very strong. Not as strong as it would be with somebody from the northern countries, but it's different because the way I express myself, a Spanish person thinks I'm like being hysterical all the time because I'm from Brazil. I gesticulate a lot.
You have more temperament.
I have more temper. I gesticulate. I'm like more, ta, 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 ta. It's like this. And in Spain, I think people are more like, no, it's okay, it's okay.
Who would you say is the more jealous one? You, the Brazilian, or us?
Me.
You.
Of course, I'm very jealous. I'm very jealous. I'm like, why are you looking there? Who are you looking at? Well, stop. I'm right here. Since the first date in Amsterdam, I was in a club and somebody else was looking at my partner, and I was like, are you flirting? Yeah, I'm a little too much.
From my experience and from my friends' experience, I would say that people in Eastern Europe, we tend to have a relationship earlier, to settle down earlier. Here, people are not rushing with the relationship. They don't even want a relationship, even if they are like 30, 35. So they would be still like looking for what they want to do, like inventing themselves, or I don't know. People here tend to live longer with their parents. So I met men who are living with their parents at 30 something.
Do you have any tips when it comes to dating here?
Yes. Take your time. Take your time. Learn the person. Build friendship first. Then after friendship, you'll be able to know exactly the kind of person you're dealing with and what you're entering yourself into. And then at the same time, make sure that your financial stability is in check because everyone needs to bring something to the table.
Go to physical places and try to make connections with people that have share the same interests as you. Otherwise, it's going to be like just sex. just going to be superficial.
I think my advice would just be go on as many dates as possible. If you want to meet new people, actually go and meet new people. I know there's a lot of people that download the apps, but then they go on like 1 or 2 dates and they get scared from it. But I think the best thing is just try and just push yourself to meet as many people as possible because you only need 1 or 2 that are nice.
Besides the obvious of Tinder, I would recommend, there's a lot of meet-up groups, so depending on what you're interested in, I don't know, sports is great, there's running groups, there's beach volley groups, there's a lot of like art-inspired groups. if somebody already has a dog or would like to have a dog, not to meet people, but because they genuinely love dogs, I met a lot of people through walking my dog, going to parks. But yeah, generally I think either you meet people at work or in these kind of organized free time activities.
I've realized many people have dogs here.
Yeah.
Actually,
And since COVID, it has gotten so much more. Yeah.
can imagine.
For the good and for the bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of dogs here.
Go to places that you like, do things that you like to do, and meet people as friends, normal friends, and do the move. Don't wait for the person to do the move, and even talk to them like, oh, you know, are you single or not, or, you know, I like you or not. I mean, in your own style, because if you wait to them to do the move, maybe you will wait forever. Then I know it's hard. I'm not used to do that either. I more used to be like, yes, you know, they are going to talk to me, to come to me, to all of that, then I can understand you. But if you really want to take advantage and to take the best, if you see someone is not doing the move, go and do the move, because you will get the best reward.
You could definitely go on language exchanges where you might be able to even learn some Spanish, because there are people from all around the world who are visiting these language exchanges. They are free. There are also university organized different Erasmus events happening, free parties, beach volleyball sessions, yoga sessions. Yoga and spirituality is very big here. So if you're open for those kind of things, there are plenty of either free time activities, sport activities, or even hikes on the weekend with different group of people, mainly expats who are foreigners. But yeah, so absolutely, these organized events you can find on different platforms, like Meetup is one big platform here to meet people in person. It's called Meetup. And then also different events that they publish on Facebook, Instagram. So yes, just join, be open, because the lightning could strike anytime.